everyone. This is Korith Landwalker, and tonight we have yet another exciting episode of Star Trek Online. Last week, we wrapped up the Gamma Quadrant arc. So we've pretty much gone through all the good stuff. No, that's probably exaggerating. From here, it's kind of almost all Discovery all the time. I'm not talking about the Discovery as in a noun. Okay, it is a noun, but not that kind of noun. You are undoubtedly familiar with Star Trek Discovery, which is on CBS All Access, their paid subscription channel. And from here on out, it more or less devours Star Trek Online. I have certain opinions on that, and I'll undoubtedly go through them as we go along. Let's log in and start off with our administrivia and other related stuff, and I might take care of a couple of loose ends while I'm at it. For example, you'll notice that I still have this DS9 and Dyson Joint Command missions from Reputation stuff that I think I kind of want to get rid of. First, though, the important stuff, Administrivia. I'm going to load up my good buddy Varara Talon with Ketracel White because I have oodles and oodles of it still available. I still have 40 whole vials here. And I'm going to keep feeding them to him until I don't need them anymore. And to be honest, I kind of suspect I might even be able to replicate them. Let me see. Yes, if I need to, I can... Well, that's interesting. I have it on my replicator list, but it's not actually purchasable. So I'm guessing that I've got to be a Jem'Hadar in order to actually manufacture Ketracel. No biggie, Varara Town's gone for a long time without Ketracel. He can handle it for a little longer. Well, when he runs out. That said, I may have more than enough to get me through the entirety of the rest of the game. Just maybe. And at some point I should probably sell off some of the garbage I have here that I don't need. Oh, right. Oh, that's right. I don't attach that to anything. I did get another reinforcement item during last week's episodes, so now, in addition to having ships from the Delta Quadrant and from the Romulan Republic, or possibly the entire Alliance, I'm not entirely sure on that one, and Nimbus pirates, I can now grab swarms of Herc, too. Yeah, if you think I'm not going to abuse that, you obviously haven't been watching my streams. Reputation. Right now I've just got 2 reps that are rolling at the moment, and one of them only has a couple more days left in it. Well, a couple more weeks, basically, since, once a week streams. But it should be able to get me... Oh, no, it's not going to get me. It has already gotten me to Tier 4 Reputation. So why don't we fill that out? It gives me a transwarp to Delta Quadrant sector block available, so I can transwarp to the Delta Quadrant, which would come in handy. Oh, maybe not, because I don't think I can use the Delta Quadrant to get me to the Solanace Fire. Darn, I was looking. Oh, but I already have a Tier 4 dice, so maybe I already have that. We'll hold off on figuring that out. And now I still have 56 Delta marks. That's not even going to get me part way to anything. And as far as equipment goes, I'm pretty sure that everything here, as usual, requires lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Delta marks. Which, suffice to say, I don't have. And granted, I can grab stuff from here, but that's all dilithium. Now, dilithium is not a big deal to me at the moment. I mean, I've got a colossal 105,000. Okay, it's not really colossal, I mean. But it'll certainly handle... Ooh, yeah, well, weapons might be a little rougher. Ship weapons, that is. But if I decide that I want to refit my ship with something, that might get me a good bit of the way there. In any event, I'm not going to use my remaining Delta marks to go 10,000 into the next level of Delta. Particularly in light of the fact that I need 100,000 to get there, so that's another 40,000 I need. Well, 40,000 doesn't sound bad. Nope, nope, nope. Instead, we're going to go on to the next reputation, which is the new Romulus reputation. Since we're on the subject of near futility, I will continue slowly working my way towards the final tier 6. Now let's do some quick math. If there's 30 marks per rep, and I've got 240 marks, 248. So that seems that would be about 8 more projects. Now, 8 more projects will give me 40,000 XP. That is not going to get me to tier 6. I will be short by about 3,000? 30,000. Math. Math is hard. I was told there would be no math. All that said, there's every reason to believe that I could conceivably do something that will allow me to choose more marks. And I might grab the Romulan marks if I'm sufficiently close. Then again, there's also every chance I'm not going to get anywhere near that far because we will be done with Talel by then. But who knows? We'll find out. So while we're here at DS9, let's take care of the last of my DS9 reputation doohickeys from the temporal reputation. Temporal. I'm putting a little bit too much emphasis, I think, on that syllable. Oh, please don't stick on 96. Give me my last 3%. There we go. Ooh. Somebody's flying a Constitution Tier 6. Looks like Kelvin timeline. It's a lockbox ship, so, you know, read into that when you will. I'm going to beam directly into Ops because I don't really feel any need to spend any more time on this than I absolutely have to. So, let's take a look at the Temporal Defense Initiative. Transmission 4. What secrets of the future can we find out?
After action report stardate 46853.5, Commander Narrator reporting. I've just enjoyed an interesting visit to Terok Nor, or rather Deep Space Nine. Our intel suggested that the Nakul were going to assassinate Cisco, and in a most unusual fashion, death by holosuite.
I bet it was planned to be in Vic's place.
I managed to gain access to the station's holosuite network, but I saw no signs of tampering or any scheduled appointments for Benjamin Sisko. Jake Sisko, on the other hand, was in a session. I hacked the suite and stopped a holographic baseball pitcher from throwing a 300-mile-an-hour fastball into Sisko the Younger's skull.
Ow. I don't care what kind of baseball helmet you're wearing, but that's gonna leave a mark.
I then tracked the assassin to a storage area. As I prepared to enter, the door opened, and a tailor Garrett walked out. He tapped his nose and smiled as he passed. Inside, I found the corpse of the lone Nakul agent. As I said, an interesting visit.
Garrick always seems to know more than he should, doesn't he? Alright. Time to beam back to the ship, and let's see if we can hop to the Dyson Sphere and grab the last reputation mission from that. If I'm lucky, and I am, I've got a transwarp there. Usually I save this kind of thing for the end of a stream if there's time permitting, but I just want to get this stuff off of my list. Oh, I guess hailing them won't get me in. Okay, where is the command center? That away. Naturally, I'm putting in the exact opposite direction of where I want to go. Story of my life. As you will recall, Dyson Spheres are big. Really big. As in unimaginably big. When you're talking about something large enough to surround a star and be habitable, try not to think about the amount of resources that would take. It is literally mind-boggling. One could argue that if you had the resources to build a Dyson Sphere, you probably don't need to build the Dyson Sphere. Okay, so let's have our digital library. As we recall, the Dyson Sphere reputation missions involved chatting with a Voth scientist. Let's hear more from him.
Hello. Thank you for continuing to remind me that there are other sane minds out there.
This sounds familiar.
My concerns about
I wonder
the
if I'm
dangers
looking at
of
the wrong
sphere's
mission.
technology have fallen on deaf ears. In rebuttal, I'm fed propaganda about the sphere's
Yeah, hold on.
origins and
I
how
can't cancel
easy
either.
my job should be.
Oh well, we're committed.
But how easy can a job be if I'm constantly being interrupted by alarms and avoiding catastrophes?
I wonder if I needed to go to...
In my lab, the Ministry
Ironically,
of
maybe
Elders
I
and
do
their
have to go to the
inquisitor
Delta
lackeys
Quadrant.
have installed accomplices who are willing to answer yes when
This
I
might be a
say
Kiana.
no. Advancement is their only goal, not reason, not discovery, and certainly not safety. Unfortunately, they are rarely up to the tasks for which they volunteer.
Yeah, I've
But
definitely
the
flubbed
problems may
this.
be bigger than incompetent lab
I wasn't
techs.
speaking properly.
No one here wants to hear that we may not be capable of using this technology, or that the cost of trying
On the other
could be
hand,
the
though, I didn't think
destruction of this
Kiana
entire
had anything like
sector of
this.
space.
Maybe I should do something really crazy, you know,
builders of this
read
sphere
the
aren't
mission.
here to tell us the results of their experiments, but I'm convinced that something did go terribly wrong. There is evidence of a celestial trauma that has significantly reduced the energy output from this installation's central star.
Which is probably why we didn't fry when we did
Add
that
to
mission.
the fact that the spires have been optimized for a different spectral band than the one that this star produces, and we're left with strong evidence of a large-scale industrial accident. Such an accident would explain why this place was abandoned. I've conducted a detailed scan of one of the spires and found trace amounts of tetryon particles. Any industrial accident large enough to leave these trace tetryon particles thousands of years afterwards would have permeated all organic life caught in the blast, with enough tetrayonic energy to force any survivors to retreat to subspace. So, if the creators of this technology weren't savvy enough to prevent such a huge disaster, what chance do my people or yours have to do any better? I fear this technology. I fear it in not just the wrong hands, but in any hands. optimized to activate the sphere.
He was the smart one,
Our
the Bob,
lives may
obviously.
depend on it.
End of file.
Okay. I guess now I need to take a look at that mission and see exactly what I was supposed to be doing. No, this was it. So why did I not get anything? Oh! I'm supposed to go in here. Okay, this may work out a little more interestingly than I thought.
I'm sorry for the delay in my response, but I needed to take extra precautions with my communications. After another round of disastrous tests in combining Voth and Sphere technologies, I was offered up as a scapegoat. I am no longer a member of the Voth Circle of Archaeology. But I've been doing this for so long, it's hard to stop keeping an eye on my former colleagues' experiments. Now my curiosity is tinged with a hint of fear. Their findings may be corrupted. When it was discovered that the Omega particles generated by this structure were sent to collection sites in the outer shell, the first thought was to blindly jumpstart this process, rather than to methodically determine its purpose.
Oh, that's genius.
I'm afraid our leaders are so entranced by the perceived benefits of this advanced technology, they are willing to forego common-sense safety measures. Luckily, there are a few of us left who make safe and sane actions our primary objective. And luckier still, there are enough of your ships and soldiers causing problems inside our defensive lines that my actions are blamed on you.
Thanks, I think.
I'm not alone in this opinion. Our superiors are pushing hard to unlock this technology. There's a perceived lack of progress, and they are trying to make up for lost time. I'm sure you understand gravity as it applies to physics, but it also has a social component. When our leadership feels pressure, it is quickly felt by those below them. First by the military, then by the citizenry. The Voth have never taken kindly to dissenters. But there is no comparison between those who speak out against doctrine back home, and those who fight for basic scientific inquiry here and now. I fear I'll be discovered at any moment, but I fear even more that the work I'm doing won't continue on. Please stay safe.
Now, if you were to get to the big wrap-up of the Voth storyline, if you get to the next tier, you would actually be able to get Nellen as a bridge officer for your crew. However, that will not be happening here. Instead, we're going to start going into the next episode in our major storyline. We have gone through from the ashes, made allies, struck in the shadows, gone to the wasteland and taken our vengeance, and found freedom. We have been involved in a Cardassian struggle and stopped a Borg advance. We helped settle New Romulus, explore the Dyson sphere of the Solanae, entered the Delta Quadrant and fought in the Iconian War, and then followed it up with yesterday's war. We dealt with time travel and future-proof, and found new frontiers, which unfortunately led to a little incident in the Gamma Quadrant. And now, we're going to enter the Age of Discovery. So yeah, let's pick that up and kick things off from there.
Jalon True, I've contacted you to discuss a new historical tactical simulation. Alliance researchers want to delve deeper into the tactics of Juula, and they'd like you to participate in the process. The simulation will put you in the midst of an event heavily influenced by the actions of Juula. It takes place during a battle of considerable significance to both the Federation and the Klingons. I'm interested in seeing how a Republic officer of note approaches the challenges of this event.
Now, you may have noticed a couple interesting details here. First, we're going to be in basically a holodeck program, for all intents and purposes. No big deal with that in and of itself. More on that later, however. More significantly, though, you're hearing all this talk about someone named Ula, who, up to now, nobody's ever heard of. No explanation. Now, if you are doing the, hey, Longsword, how are you doing this evening? I hope things are going well on your end of the monitor. We've just taken care of a couple of reputation-related details. I had a couple outstanding missions. And I'm getting ready to engage the first mission in the Age of Discovery. Ah, excellent. Glad to hear you're doing good. I was just about to start off my rant about Jaula. Now, Jaula, if you were playing a character who had gone through the Discovery arcs, if you basically made a captain in the Discovery era, then you would know all about Jaula, because she shows up regularly in those early missions for Discovery captains. But for Dominion captains, regular Starfleet captains, original series captains, Klingon captains, Romulan captains, it's along the lines of, who the hell is Jaula? Seriously. Why do we care? There's absolutely no setup on this, it just gets dropped on you. I feel that this is probably one of the biggest stumbling blocks in this set of arcs, that they just assume that people are going to know who Jaula is. But as usual, I was not consulted. So we're just going to have to go in and do this simulation with no clue as to why we care. I mean, even Starfleet officers who you would think would have the history behind this, you would think that there would be a reason for them to care, but no, you get nothing. Only Discovery captains understand the significance. But then again, Discovery captains would actually be doing this not as a historical simulation, but as actual participants. Everybody else, heck with you people, just deal. But the good news is we still get our usual trifecta of experience points, expertise, and dilithium ore, and we get a pair of possible rewards. Standard armor, admittedly purpley, and maybe interestingly, maybe not, a phaser pulse wave assault weapon. And I believe this is a phaser weapon that is done in the format of Discovery era weaponry. We're not looking at great rewards here, but you know, it's something. So, the plausibility of the possible. And this is actually a kind of a two-part kind of mission. The next mission is the second half of this, so obviously I am motivated to get both of them done tonight. And so we're going to transwarp to the Beta Quadrant without going back to the ship directly, and just going to zip right over to help our odds. Pryor's World is a Class M world close to the heart of the Federation space in the Beta Quadrant. I'm throwing the word "the" in there where I shouldn't have. Oops. In the 23rd century, it was subject to frequent attacks by Klingons due to its position close to the Empire's border. The Pryor's system, which holds several planets, suffers occasional ion storms due to its star's instability. Sounds like a great vacation spot, doesn't it? Now, the good news is, in this wonderful simulation, at least we're being put in our own ship, as opposed to, you know, this era's starships. Now entering the Pryor's system, we picked up extra supplies at the last starbase for delivery here. The Shinano and Cicada, I love that name, are expecting us. We should probably deliver supplies to the Shinano first, since he's closer.
This is the USS Cicada. Switch to frequency 228.7 to adjust for ion storm interference.
And they gave...
This is the Shinano. Advise keeping shields up. cloaked Klingon vessels are still testing our defenses.
Oh, unfortunately, beaming supplies over with the shields up would probably cause a problem. I've been replaying some old missions yourself. By old missions, you're talking about the early missions of the big episode arcs? I'm presuming so. Really, it's gotten to the point where most of these missions are old missions for me.
Thanks. Our supplies were low after retaking Pryor's world. One more assault and we would have been at critical levels in several key resources. I expect the Cicada is waiting for supplies too. I hope you have what they need.
Personally, the missions I always like to do, whenever I get the ability to do so, tend to be the ones like Cold War, Last Dominion, Spectres, and where the heck is it? Oh, actually, I guess the Romulan arc is part of the main story chain. But these three arcs that got unaccountably kicked out of the main episode chain. Okay, I can understand Spectres, maybe. But the other two? Unforgivable. Of course, admittedly, as usual, I wasn't consulted there either. And it drives me even more nuts because you can only play these once you get to Vice Admiral level. I'm pretty sure it's Vice Admiral level. It might be higher. It just bugs me. Okay, I see you've got some hardware for the Cicada, so I hope that they will not wait 17 years to use them. Just a little remark about the cicadas that come into Brood 10 in the States.
Now. We are ready to receive supplies.
I happen to be in an area that is in the Brood 10 region, so we had the cicadas invade this last summer.
Computer systems have received significant damage from Klingon assaults. I believe the Baran is waiting for you to report in, so I will keep you no longer.
Now, the Baran should be familiar to folks who have seen Star Trek Discovery, if you've been, paying for the subscription fee for CBS All Access, or I believe it's now Paramount Plus.
The USS Baran. Welcome to Pryor's world.
Speaking of which, there's one of the characters. Where's Captain Lorca?
Has requested that you transport over to the Baran to speak in person. Truth be told, we're not certain our hailing frequencies are completely secure. It's a long story. Let's just say the Klingons had a few tricks up their sleeve during battle.
I would have to say that this would be hilarious to do as a Klingon. That's just strange. Like, the simulation wouldn't care because they would see you as a Starfleet officer, but still. The idea amuses me. I am very easily amused. Okay, it looks like I'm only allowed to take a couple bridge officers for my away team, and I have no problems with the choices made. We've got Marara Talon to be my muscle, and my personal favorite, No! And as everybody may know by now, I will never, ever get tired of that name. Never, never, never. The other bridge officers, they're out of luck.
Nice to finally meet you face to face. I'm Captain Gabriel Lorca. Welcome to the Baran. This is my first officer, Commander Ellen Landry.
Sorry to hear about Captain Schaefer. He was one of our best.
Which would make a lot more sense if I were actually discovering.
From what we've heard about what happened at Corvan, his ship's in good hands. And my somewhat tardy Chief of Security, Amna Patel.
Apologies, Captain. Welcome aboard. We appreciate the assistance.
Engineering's this way, if you'll follow me.
What took you so long?
You try booking a reception hall during prime wedding season. I'm lucky to be alive.
My warrior. Braver than 100 Klingons.
Kapla!
We better catch up.
Before the captain throws us in the brig with the Klingons.
We've been mopping up here after our scrap with the Klingons.
Yeah, the Klingons are very definitely at war with Starfleet in this era.
Cleaning up the planet-based missile launchers was satisfying. The Baran is currently holding some Klingon prisoners of war.
Oh, I'm sure they're taking it
Prisoners
well.
we planned to deliver to a secure location before we ran into a snag. Lieutenant Kerwin, I have someone I'd like you to meet.
Lieutenant?
Welcome aboard. Thanks for lending us a hand. Mind taking a look at something here? I'm analyzing some issues with the Baran's critical systems, and a fresh perspective might shed some light.
So, what's up?
Somehow the Klingons infected our computer systems with a particularly nasty virus during the battle. Another House Mokai trick by the looks of it. It's in several key systems, sensors, shields, weapons. Ugh. Right now, we can't rely on any of those remaining at operational status. If they come back for a rematch, we could wind up blind and defenseless.
Yeah, keep in mind the whole computer virus in House Mokai. That is going to show up again an awful lot over the next large set of episodes. Let's see what we can do about the sensors.
Excellent.
I'm an engineer.
We collected a lot of sensor data on their cloaking operations during the fight. It could give us an edge in future battles. That's only if we have reliable sensors, which we currently do not. Hopefully, that's about to change.
And as you undoubtedly noticed, there are multiple possibilities to do depending on what profession you've gone into. Tactical, science, or engineering.
Okay, looks like the virus is out of the sensors. Let's turn them on.
And let's hope that the result isn't we're surrounded by 15 Klingon vessels. Oh, it's the minigame. Those minigames will show up when you least expect them. Gotta give the devs this. They got a lot of mileage out of the minigames in the Star Trek Online scenarios.
Wait, what? The virus came back when the sensors came up. Let's try again.
Those pesky computer viruses. This is what happens if you don't keep your antivirus and firewall set properly. I'm not entirely sure what happened there because it didn't look right. Fight virus again.
We just lost port.
Bridge to Captain. Klingon vessels decloaking.
Lorca to bridge.
Of course they are.
On my way.
Captain, internal sensors show multiple Klingon transporter signals in your vicinity.
All hands, repel boarders.
Okay, so we're going to have some problems here. No sense in being nice about these guys. Fry them with the flamethrowers. Yes, I realize that's not Starfleet approved weaponry, but they wanted a Romulan perspective. They're getting the Romulan perspective.
Lorca to bridge. We need those shields back. Do what you can to keep our port side away from the Klingons. Kerwin, I want you to head up there and give them a hand with the shields.
Are we staying here?
No, I think it's time we went on the offensive. Landry, Patel, lead the way.
Chief, get us to the armory.
On it.
Alright, and we already have some problems right out here. Fry, baby, fry. It was worth every bit of dilithium to make this flamethrower.
Captain to sickbay. We have wounded on deck 17.
We're on our way, Captain.
And a nicely labeled armory. And we've got
Take
somebody
one of
here
these
guarding.
phaser rifles. We just finished modifications on them from data we gathered during the Prior's War fighting. The Klingons are in for a little surprise.
Nice work, but you know, I don't really need a rifle.
Bridge to Captain.
But hey, you know,
Klingons
never
have to
argue
bring
with
and
purple
release their
quality
buddies.
equipment, right?
Looks like they're heading toward the shuttle bay. They're gonna make a break for it, sir.
Ah, rescue operation.
Lorca
That
to bridge,
explains a lot.
acknowledged. We're en route. Tepev, Landry, Patel, take the lead. Everyone else, you're with me. Let's move.
Okay, got you covered. Of course, the idea of being on someone's 6 means that you tend to be following them. But as you can see, they're all going to be following me. Oops. So they're asking the blind to lead the blind, apparently. And don't get me started about the others who are supposed to be, you know, in the lead, taking point. Ah, well. Why should things make sense now? Ah, boy, I love doing orbital bombardment. Open sesame. Well, that worked out easier than I thought.
Ellen, can you hear me? Ellen.
Cover me. Patel, get a hand with this.
Lift with your knees.
Time. Captain, you need to go.
That's not
Watching the 10 Forward Weekly as well. Yeah, that's one of those little details that, you know, I didn't realize when I started doing the streaming on Wednesdays. That, oh gee, yeah, Cryptic's actually doing their thing on Wednesday nights.
It's clear.
Oops.
Help her.
It is what it is.
Thought I lost you there.
Fortunately, the captain had other ideas.
Nice shot back there. Glad you had our backs.
We need to move. Can you stand?
Well, I'll manage. It's not as bad as it looks.
Okay, now that we've managed to get through that cutscene in the middle of a firefight, back to business.
Bridge to Captain. Shuttle bay access is locked, and the hangar doors are starting to open.
It's that damn Klingon virus again.
Bridge, this is the captain. Prepare the tractor beam, in case we fail.
And I'm making use of that not cool shield that gives the temporal distortions. I mean, after all, why should the bad guys have all the fun of the... Let's duplicate myself a zillion times. Oh, even more hostiles. Let's get out a seeker drone and let that do some of the heavy lifting. Man, I love using this flamethrower. I'm horrible that way.
Damn, it's even in the door systems. I'll handle this. Bam! Got it!
Congratulations, you got it. Unfortunately, they may have us. Okay, let's get a little more weaponry in here. I was kind of hoping to get more out of that.
We're preparing to depart the Berlin. Prepare for our arrival.
Not today. Not on my ship.
Change of plans.
Hey, prisoners!
Then
You'll have to get through me first.
And a car. Now, if you look at him carefully, it's kind of hard to see, but he does have a interesting resemblance to a
Look at the bridge. The prisoners are secure.
notable Klingon
Status
lore.
Sir, the Klingon vessels just went under cloak.
But we might have to wait
They'll
for
be
that.
back. Count on it.
We need to get the Klingon prisoners secured. Unfortunately, our holding facilities here are compromised. Under the circumstances, I think we'll need to transfer the prisoners to your ship.
We can do that.
I think you'll agree we can't risk dropping our shields to use the transporters. You'll have to take a shuttle. It's a little old-fashioned, but if the Klingons are here to rescue their people, they won't risk firing on you. Your ship, on the other hand, will be a target. Be ready for anything.
It's good to be popular.
All right, these Klingons wanted to ride in a shuttle. Load them up.
Now, I do have to admit that the Discovery era shuttle designs, I like them. Although how you evolve from this to the original series shuttles, I'm not entirely sure. But you know, that's I guess that's the kind of thing you got to expect when you're comparing something from the roughly 2019 era with something back that was created back in the 1960s. I think that it's asking a lot to look at something 50 years old and compare it with something designed today.
My team will handle the prison transfer to your vessel. I'll have our security chief contact yours to sort out the details.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Are you ready to finish boarding procedures and head out?
Oh, yes.
Good. You made it. Afraid I have some bad news. We're picking up some photon decay heading our way. My people believe it's coming from cloaked Klingon vessels, and I'm inclined to agree. Get ready for a fight.
Alright, looks like it's sadly going to come to violence.
All ships, decloak. Resume the attack.
Now, while it does not explicitly say so, yes, that was Ju'ula. We're going to be seeing an awful lot of her. Far, far too much of her in the coming weeks.
Moran to Cicada. Move to support the Shadana.
Acknowledge, Moran. Maneuvering to support positions.
I think you're going to be in pretty good shape since, you know, all the Klingons are blown up. Oops, spoke too soon. Now, the battle cruisers here are different than most of the battle cruisers you've seen in Star Trek for Klingons. And it's not surprising, because this is the Discovery era, and Discovery era ships are perhaps not as uniform. We are not yet at the days of the D7 battle cruisers.
Good stuff. The harder you fight, the greater my glory.
Oh, I keep forgetting that downside of the Klingons. Oh, that worked out great. I thought, oops, my French shields are almost gone. Let's get that fixed up before something horrible happens. On the other hand, you got to admit, fighting these Klingons, it's a welcome change over some of the crazy stuff we fought in the past, like Nakul's temporal distortions, or the Vodwar's cluster weapons, or the Iconians just being vicious in general, the Hercs, partial immunities. This is such a pleasant thing to get back to. A few more shots ought to do it. If I can get him on a shield. An unshielded side, that is. Three cheers for my turrets. Everybody still looks operational, which is good.
Nice work, Captain. Looks like the Klingons aren't finished with us at Pryor's World. Glad you were in the neighborhood. Things could have gone pear-shaped if you weren't.
I'll pass that along.
I'm sure that'll look good in your after-action report. Might put a little dent in my sterling reputation, but I'll manage. That said, we're not out of the woods just yet. I'll let my first officer fill you in on the details.
Alright, give me details.
This is Landry. As you've seen, the Baran is needed here at Pryor's World. And her brig is no longer secure. I'm afraid your ship is going to have to facilitate this prison transfer.
Alright, where am I going?
The destination is classified, I'm afraid. I have the coordinates in a secure device.
Of course
which,
it is.
with your permission, I'll bring aboard with my team.
Yeah, you know, this smacks of espionage activity. Haven't used many of the free reward ships.
I don't disagree, Captain.
I can understand that. I've accumulated a fair amount of them over time, this one being the latest
Some of our
example.
prisoners are high-ranking members of the House Mokai. The
I
secrets
put
they
some
know
effort
are
into
important
getting
to the
this
Klingons,
particular one, the
even more
Temera
so to
Raider,
Starfleet.
simply
We
because
need
of
to get them into a
the fact that
high-security
it's named
facility as
for
soon
a
as we can.
fairly significant individual in the Romulan story arc. And I figured, well, heck, I can't, since I'm doing this Romulan story arc thing on my stream, I cannot possibly pass up the opportunity to get that ship, and then when the time came, use it. I wasn't willing to use it until we got to a point in the episode timeline where the Alliance had formed and the Romulans and the Klingons and Starfleet started sharing technology again. So basically, Dyson Sphere, well, post Dyson Sphere, Delta Quadrant, that sort of thing. When the Alliance really started being an alliance. Okay, high security.
I'd like to send Commander Landry and a team with you to assist on this. Call it a joint effort. But it's still your ship and your command. Agreed?
Sure, why not? Otherwise we'll probably break the simulation.
Oh, and one last thing. Landry's on loan. She's a damn fine officer and one of a kind. I do expect her back intact as soon as you're done, Captain. The shuttle, on the other hand, you can keep. We got plenty of those.
Since it's all simulation, technically I won't be keeping any of them, but hey, we'll go with that. Now, if they'd given the shuttle as a reward from this mission, that would have been something. Alright, it's time to warp to the Mandel system. And you know, it occurs to me that I probably should have been a little more heavy, perhaps, on repairing my stuff, because, look at this. Repair shield, space. Repair hull, space. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have nearly as much entertainment in space to get me to 150,000 shield repair. Hull, though, maybe.
My team is on board, Captain. With your permission, I'll take the helm for this trip. I know the way, after all.
I thought your super secret device knew the way. Grumble, 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 grumble. I've got a number of other free ships I've monkeyed with. A lot of my characters, they've used some
We've
of the
arrived
more
at the coordinates, Captain.
interesting
being
ships
hailed.
available. On screen.
Your presence in this system is unexpected. Transmit secure clearance codes now.
We're here to...
Awaiting transfer of codes. I should remind you that all of our defense systems are active, Captain. Vosker out.
What a charming human being he is.
That he did, Captain. Shall I transmit the security clearance codes?
Well, no, I don't know. I kind of want to try and take out these drones now. Nah, send the codes.
Transmitting initial sequence now. Lieutenant Kerwin, begin beta security code transmission on my mark. Mark. Very much so, Captain. Possibly more than they enjoy oxygen and comfortable socks.
Ouch.
Transmission complete. The station is hailing us now. Shall I put them through?
Personally, I'd like you to put them on hold. Hang up on me, why don't he? But, must pretend to play Starfleet rules.
You're cleared for approach. Proceed to the following coordinates and prepare for prisoner transfer via shuttlecraft. Vosker out.
Head to the coordinates. And stop.
A word, if you please.
Sure.
It's about Warden Vosker. I've served with him before, and there are some things about his character you should be aware of.
Oh joy. Like what?
Serving here allows Vosker to use methods and practices that would not fly on a starship. Some of his morals are fluid, perhaps dangerously so. Look, I'm not sure what Starfleet Command knows about him, but he still has command of the facility. Permission to speak freely?
Hey, why stop now?
There are those in Starfleet who are more focused on results than the cost of achieving those results. Vosker is such a man. The Admiralty didn't order these prisoners here by chance. They want Vosker to get results by any means necessary. That doesn't work for me, or Captain Lorca. The ends do not justify the means. I intend to make sure the price we pay here isn't too great. I don't want to look back on this day with regret, or worse.
Oh, Vosker sounds like he'd be a good candidate for membership in the Tal Shiar. If you were a Romulan, of course.
My team has the prisoners prepped for transfer. Are you ready to head to the facility?
Sure am. And it looks like we're going to continue our 3-man away team. So, I'm going to keep the same choices. I was satisfied with their performance earlier.
Welcome to Facility 2047. I'm Hadrian Vosker. Computer, update the log to finalize the transfer of prisoners to this facility. Authorization Vosker Sigma 9. We'll take it from here. A reminder, all data relating to this facility is classified. Now, if there's nothing else, I have a prison to run. Feel free to show yourselves out.
Not so fast.
Thank you. Hadrian, it's been a long time.
Not long enough. Was there anything of substance you wish to discuss, or are we done here?
Does the phrase prisoner abuse mean anything to you?
As in, according to Starfleet regulations, Hadrian, not your own personal code of conduct. Listen, we don't have to like each other. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's an impossibility at this point. What we need to do is work together in upholding the ideals and laws of the Federation.
Who was that? Someone was doing something.
Are you finished? Look, the Federation is the promise of a better future. I buy into that. Beautiful dream. People love to talk about it. What nobody wants to talk about are the hard choices it takes to make that dream come true. Every day, the Klingons remind us, though. And we pay the price in blood, sweat, and tears. So unless you're ready to learn some hard truths, I suggest you return to your ship and move along.
I take it back. It's not the Tal Shiar which would have a good place for him. It's Section 31. Let's talk about those hard truths, eh?
Yeah, why don't you show us everything you do here, Warden? Enlighten us. Show us how you're keeping the Federation safe from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Hey, we'll even take notes.
Commander Landry has mastered the skill of raw sarcasm.
Wonderful. The prisoners are being processed. I'm sure they're being treated well. Better than the Klingons treated the innocent civilians of Pryor's world, for example. If you'll follow me.
Oh, so he wants to follow the example of Klingons. That's such a better choice.
Johnson, give me a status report.
Wrapping it up now, sir. Medical scans and contraband search all came back in the green.
And there's our boys waiting for processing.
There's increased comms from the Starfleet vessel stationed at Pryor's world. It sounds like there's another fight with the Klingons there.
Now, before I get too much in that conversation, let's take a look at a car again, shall we? Who does this face remind you of? It's almost as if he was an ancestor to a Klingon chancellor somewhere down the line.
Warden?
What's the situation?
I'm not sure. Sorry, the signal's garbled. Some sort of interference is breaking it up, and I'm just getting fragments. So far, it sounds like the trouble is on the planet's surface.
Thoughts?
We have our orders, and no distress signal is being sent. That being said, I'd feel a hell of a lot better if I were back on the Baran, Captain. I've got the feeling the Klingons are about to make another big push at Pryor's world.
Oh, we'll get you back there soon.
Fine. In the meantime, we have a job to do here. Johnson, put the priority 2 prisoners into Genpa. I'll make sure our priority 1 guest gets into MaxSec where he belongs. Captain, Commander, let's get this over with. Got a
Move along.
nice cell waiting for you, Mokai. Move!
Well, at least we're actually following the warden, more or less.
I'm not sure leaving the prisoners here with him is wise, Commander.
What are you hens clucking about back there?
Just wondering what you have in mind for our prisoners, Hadrian.
Nothing the Admiralty hasn't authorized before.
How reassuring.
Johnson here. Operation reports a malfunction in primary systems and recommends a reboot.
Johnson, contact engineering. And keep an eye on things until I'm finished. Oscar to engineering.
Not quite the light bridges of
Prison
the future, are
isolation is
they?
acting up. Fix it. Now. Finally. Now deal with these malfunctions.
Now, if this were Star Wars, somebody would feel obliged to make the comment of, I have a bad feeling about this.
Wait. What the? Sir, the primary deflector grid just went offline.
Look out! Klingons!
What? Where?
Johnson, initiate
Oh, there
full
they are.
lockdown. And get those shields back up, now!
Might as well start up on you early.
Johnson? Come in, Johnson. Damn, we lost comms.
Now, you know, I'm pretty sure they need to replace that face there, because I'm pretty sure that's the original car face. Okay, is that all of them? That's all of them.
All right, let's get this over with. Check. Nice. Same to you, Haribach. Come on, stupid piece of work, damn it.
Problem, Hadrian?
I can't get the bridge to extend. We need to think of an alternative.
Now, we are either dealing with the worst run prison facility in the entire Federation,
We need to get out of here right now.
or there's another possible explanation. And when you think about it, it kind of becomes obvious. Oh, of course, on the other hand, if he falls to his death, that'll take care of our problems pretty easily.
We don't have time for this. Let him fall. It's just a Klingon.
We are Starfleet. Since you've
We may be
obviously
sorry about
forgotten,
that later.
that is not how we operate.
Whatever. Let's get moving.
One of these days, I should actually look up the translation for the dialogue being thrown around. I mean, they're obviously insults, but you know, it'd be nice to have some specifics.
If we can't put the prisoner in one of these cells, we'll have to take him back to processing. It's not ideal, but it'll do till we get things under control.
Right. I'm sure that won't cause us any problems whatsoever. And I see that he's not leading us anymore, so it looks like it's up to me. Oh, more Klingons. Okay, it looks like I might need to give myself a little bit of a helping hand here. Luckily, fabrications are my... Oh. Looks like I got that a little too far back. Let's see about bringing some of them back here. There we go. Sometimes I gotta revert back to using standard beam weapons. Now, undoubtedly, we're going to have problems in here because, you know, it feels like we're going to have
Let's
problems.
stow this guy quickly.
Relax. His new home's right over here, and he's gonna be here a very long time.
Or, you know, not.
I believe you have something that belongs to me. Aka,
He's not going anywhere, lady. I'm gonna...
Ha! You were saying?
Oops.
If only you had shields to block our transporters. Our paths cross once again. If only I had the time to end.
In case you haven't guessed,
Like
that's
I
Tuula.
mentioned your captain.
You two know each other?
Not
Try
socially.
to die. Well, Tetris, totally true.
Wonderful.
Heh, I hear that. So we have what is commonly referred to as a serious problem. Let's get that cover shield up while I can start getting my fabrications rolling.
Yes, Commander.
Buff box. And weaponry. Because I'm expecting more to show up. Yes, there we are. Thank you for living up to my expectations.
Get over here and cover me.
So the warden's going to try to bring the shields back up. I have no idea where exactly he is.
I can't get this done if they keep shooting me.
Ah, he's over there. So what I want to do here, in about 10 seconds or so, is to stick my cover shield around him so he stops whining.
Son of a... Disruptors.
There we go.
Do your jobs, idiots.
It's really, really hard, though, to get myself to the point where I actually care about helping him. But the cover shield ought to help somewhat. I say somewhat because, you know, if they want them, they're going to probably get them. But at least we're going to make it harder on him.
Do your jobs, idiots.
Oh, I really want to put a bomb right next to him. Why did I get rid of that bomb?
Get over here and cover me.
Oh, one guy got through. Yeah, take care of that. Maybe if you worked faster, you wouldn't have to worry about so many of them, huh? That's probably a little too complicated for, you know, the warden's tiny brain. Oh, looks like the cover shield just
Not
vaped.
if they keep shooting me.
Yeah, well, you know, the operative word here is deal with it.
Son of a... Disruptors hurt. Do your jobs, idiots.
I really want to accidentally miss one of the Klingons and hit him. I want to do it so very badly. The cover shield.
Damn it. Get over here and cover me.
Stop whining and do your job. And it looks like he's at 100%, so this should be the last wave.
I'd hold off on any celebrations. Long-range sensors are picking up a Klingon battle group, approaching at high warp. Without the turrets, they'll eventually knock our shields down and finish us off for good. Shit, it's only a matter of time.
Commander, suggestions?
Lieutenant Kerwin can get those turrets back online. We just need to buy him enough time to get the job done.
Alright, we'll get back to the ship. We'll buy him some of that time.
Time for heroics. One ship against a Klingon fleet? That's suicide, and you know it. Now face it, we're done here. Let's get essential personnel to your ship and get the hell out of here while we're able.
Yeah, we faced worse odds.
Captain, the turret grid just came back online. Wait, oh no. That's bad. The turrets are scanning for Starfleet vessels. They've been sent to see them as targets. Is that damned virus?
Didn't I say something about that virus going to be a recurring theme here?
It's just like what happened at Pryor's World. They turned our own defense grid against us, and then mopped up what was left after the chaos.
So we stay close to the station so they can't, you know, shoot themselves.
How did a Klingon virus get into our system? Klingons didn't even know about this place
until we brought the prisoners aboard.
Of course. Those clever bastards. It's a genetic sequencing virus. We did a full medical scan of the Klingon prisoners when we brought them aboard the Baran. And another one when they were brought aboard this facility. But
the good news is, my ship never did a medical scan.
Fortunately, or your ship would be dealing with the virus too. Somehow they've managed to embed it within the DNA of one or more of the prisoners. If we can identify the difference between the artificial and natural bases, we should be able to isolate the viral code and purge it from the system.
I like it. How long will it take?
Maybe 5 minutes?
Right. Everybody back to the shuttle. You get to work. And so far, there's nobody here to interrupt.
I can't believe he got away. After all that we went through here, anything he does from here on out is on me.
I think there's plenty of blame to go around. Don't be picking up.
You shouldn't beat yourself up for doing the right thing here.
Exactly.
Besides, if we get him and Ja'ula, we can just pretend it was all part of the plan, right?
Yeah, that's the ticket.
All right. You win. But we still have a lot of work to do before, we single-handedly end the war and get promoted to Fleet Admiral. So let's get up to your ship and go after them.
Hey, that's easier than you think. If you fast forward a few hundred years, you'll find that you can definitely become a Fleet Admiral in almost no time at all. I'm a living example. Yeah, occasionally I like to take shots at the promotion system in the game.
We have what we need. Leave the prison for the rest.
I gotta admit, that Klingon ship design is a very different design. Of course, so are those. What can I say?
Captain,
I prefer my classic
Klingons. One of the Klingon vessels is hailing us.
Oh, good. Probably to give us some surrender or die sort of deal.
Starfleet vessel, you are outnumbered and unable to flee. If you wish your crew to survive, stand down and prepare to be boarded. Refuse,
can I call it or can I call it?
Give you all an honorable death.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, those are some satellites, though. That makes it a little harder.
A warrior's death, then. Good. I wouldn't have it any other way. Perhaps we will meet face to face in glorious combat when I board your vessel to take it as my prize.
Give it your best shot, Captain. Now we want to stay relatively close to the station here because those defense satellites are active and they will shoot me. And I've got to do this in 5 minutes. So, no pressure. And because it's a 5-minute timer, it probably means that if I manage to wipe out this grouping early, it probably means more waves will be arriving. Now, if you wanted to game the system, you'd blow up all but one of these opponents. And then just kind of run out the clock. But I can't bring myself to do stuff like that. In the game of Starship Captaincy, you win or you die. Of course, if no reinforcements for the bad guys show up, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Oops, too close, too close. Turn around, turn around. Oh, here's another wave. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Rock'em sock'em. Again, don't want to go too far away from the base because I do not need to be fighting those satellites as well as the Klingons. And like, do we have enough problems as it is? I think so. Let's not add to the abuse. Oh, how about that? Low-end bird of praise. I guess technically that's birds of prey, not bird of praise, but you know. It slipped out. Still, I continue to find it a pleasure to be fighting Klingons instead of some of the crazier opponents that I've been fighting over the last several weeks. I also don't want to engage with satellites because eventually they're going to turn on and be on our side. And I'd like to have as many on my side as possible. I do seem to have a clear channel mostly over here. Oh, no, it looks like some are popping in. They're just hiding in the distance. Oh. FotR's beer battleship. Okay, something vengeance, but I don't know enough Klingon to try to translate that. The FotR's I knew as being vengeance. I just don't know about the beer. I'm assuming it's an adjective, but I don't know for sure. If anybody happens to know, feel free to sing out. It's just idle curiosity. Oh, not good, not good. Time for that miraculous repair to do a little bit of work there. 46 seconds and counting. I can last that long, right? "30 seconds. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Tick-tock, Mr. Wick. And 10 seconds before they all go in line. And kick it up. Unfortunately, just in time for a whole bunch of other battle creatures to show up. That's right. You better run. But I wouldn't want you to leave. The party's just gotten started. Yeah. Oh, there's a couple others that didn't get the message. I guess we better give them their eviction notices now. Well, we've made some pretty good progress on the endeavors. Personal endeavors done.
Good news, Captain.
And
latest sensor reports
I made some great
Klingon
progress on the
vessels are either
shields.
destroyed or retreating. I think we did it.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna get the shields because of the nature of the next mission. Okay, give me Lieutenant Kerwin.
Kerwin here. Captain, all systems are clear over here. Not reading any Klingon ships on sensors either. Did we do it?
Yes, we did.
Captain, if it's all the same to you, I recommend we retrieve Lieutenant Kerwin and return to the Baran immediately. We haven't seen the last of Ja'ula and her forces, and there is a nasty digital virus still running wild in the Baran systems. Seeing as we have the solution to that little problem, I think it's high time we delivered it to Captain Lorca.
Let us do so. And that wraps up part 1. Let's contact
your
Titan.
performance in the tactical simulation. Well done. I find the insight we gain on both the Federation and the Klingons as valuable as the data we acquire regarding Ja'ula. To that end, I participated in the simulation myself. It was most enlightening.
Man, that's something you really don't expect out of a pro
The
console.
tactical research team is working on another simulation relating to the events that took place at Pryor's World. I suspect they will be in need of your services again soon. In the meantime,
real soon.
I suggest a review of your actions in today's simulation. As time passes, a conflict with the actual Ja'ula and her forces becomes highly likely.
Ready to go for the second simulation. But first, let's take a quick peek at the toys here. I'm pretty sure I don't need the armor. Well, no, could probably use it. And Shayla could use it. Yeah, we'll go with the armor. And No's the one who tends to be, you know, the medic of the crew. Yeah, that's good. Put the armor in the shield slot. That's a real good idea. Pop the Shayla. Give Shayla that one. And Varsal. Well, Varsal's using a Mark 13. He really doesn't need it. Which brings us to the impossibility of reason.
The data acquired from the Pryor's World tactical simulation has been quite enlightening. Our analysts, in their tireless search for knowledge, have requested further study on the matter, and thus another simulation has been created. Your participation in this simulation will be most informative. I should warn you, however, the simulation will place you directly into the aftermath of the battle at Pryor's World, on the losing side. You'll be dealing with the actions of Ja'ula and her forces under extreme conditions. May the elements guide you well.
So, the usual trifecta. Experience points, expertise, and dilithium ore. And no choices we will get. Nanofiber insulated jacket, which sounds catchy. And a Klingon bat'leth. So, you know, we're looking at some entertaining equipment, and I don't have to choose between them. So let's hit the magic. Well, we don't actually have to hit the transport button because this is taking place, as far as we're concerned, here in the Pryor system. So we'll just kind of creepy crawl our way over here and wade into the hips. Well, let's see. I have no idea what the opening of this will be, so we'll find out. I do notice, however, that we are back to the slow loading times. The inconsistency drives me nuts. Sometimes it's lightning fast, sometimes painfully slow, and it usually seems to hold no relation to how complicated the mission is, or the size of the maps, or what have you. And we are back.
Baran's in trouble. Those Klingons won't stop until she's gone. We need to get in there before it's too late.
I'd like this, because I was worried I wouldn't have a chance to do any space combat, and therefore not having any chance to get another, slightly over 50,000 shield repair work.
Mayday, Mayday, this is the USS Baran. We're taking heavy fire and need immediate assistance.
We're on our way.
Come to save your comrades, honorable, if not foolish.
Oh, it's our buddy a car.
Come and save them, if you have the courage to stand in battle against true Klingon warriors.
That's a car. Looks like he didn't run far after Ja'ula beamed him out of prison. What? No good deed goes unpunished? Now, if I'd listened to the warden instead of saving a car, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of have to agree on that one.
You did the best you could back there, Commander. A car's responsible for his actions, not you. Let's focus on doing what we can to help the Baran.
A very sensible strategy. Let's go in and aggro everybody. Really? Only one of you guys? Come on. Yeah, I'm just fighting fire here because I just desperately want to get those shields healed up regularly to hit that top-end endeavor. Maybe I'll get some marks out of it. That'll actually allow me to fill in the missing link for my Romulan reputation. And the rate we're going, I think I'll have no trouble getting there. Tough little battlecruiser raining. I'm beginning to think that the Klingons are kind of like, ninja. The conservation, was it the inverse conservation of ninja or something like that? The more ninja you fight, the weaker they become. But when you fight only a small number of ninja, they become death incarnate. At least that's how the theory goes.
Looks like we picked up some more Klingon attention.
This is a Baran.
Complain, complain, complain. We were dealing with waves and waves of Klingons. Certainly you can handle the same. Single battle cruisers. Very annoying. Let's see if I can get some of my energy levels higher. Fall down, will ya? There we... Oops. Nuts.
Incoming hails from the Baran. What? The warp core. Someone's triggered self-destruct. Oh my god.
Oh, there goes the Baran.
Baran. She's gone.
That's a potential problem. But the good news is there's still a few Klingon ships out there. Now I realize that that's not exactly good news. But hey, I'm about 8,000 short of shield repair work. I would hate to be just short. I guess these guys have cloaking devices in this era. Oh, come on. Only 4,000? 4,000 to go. Surely you guys can do 4,000 damage. There we go. Success, as the Klingons would say. So now it just comes a matter of finishing the job. They're durable, I'll give them that. And one Klingon to go, and bad news for him, he's a bird of prey. So we're not looking at the most durable starship out there. Well, it was nice knowing Captain Lorca.
This can't be happening. Scan the area. Escape pods. Did she launch any escape pods? If anyone got away, we need to find them before the Klingons do.
We've got one pod, looks like. Let's see what we can find here. Oh, and we're right next to it. Convenient.
Sick bay's reporting in. Captain Lorca needs extensive medical facilities. More than you have on board your ship. We need to get him to a starbase or to Starfleet Medical.
You know, I could be wrong, but usually the captains go down with their ship. But, you know, I'm not gonna judge.
I understand, Captain. The ion storm is getting worse and Pryor's world can't be left undefended. If you can spare just one of your shuttles, we'll get him that way. Please? He's going to die if we don't do something, and I can't let that happen.
Relax, we'll get him out of here. And looks like we're still with a 3-man crew. Okay, I can live with this. Now, if you've watched Star Trek Discovery, you probably have a pretty good idea of why Lorca didn't go down with his ship. And perhaps why the brand kind of had its self-destruct go off. Spoiler alert, it probably wasn't the virus. But we'll keep the details of that mystery under wraps, because I'm relatively sure that those details don't come out in the Star Trek Online missions, and therefore I will respect the spoiler. I did happen to see the first season of Discovery. At one point, CBS put it on their main network for at the beginning of the year, I think. Or near the end of last year. So I watched season 1. That's not good.
They're targeting us.
Take evasive action.
They're firing to disable.
Run like the wind!
Shields are gone.
Oh, that ain't good.
Impulse is failing.
That ain't good either.
Crash position. Ready for impact.
Oh, I think I just blew this simulation. Ow. Give respect to Starfleet.
Any landing you can walk away from, huh?
They built their shuttles to last.
Transporter isn't showing any serious injuries. You'll live.
At least the hull.
Atmos breathable, but this is a Class P environment. The cold doesn't kill us. The Klingons will. No way they're gonna let us go now. We need shelter, and fast.
Damn. This place reminds me of some of the places my family dragged me to for a vacation back home. You really haven't lived until you go camping on Andoria. Makes this place look like Waikiki Beach.
The Andorian point of view, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Ensign. But those of us who didn't grow up on an ice moon aren't as amused. Emergency survival protocol. Break out the gear and supplies and find shelter. I don't want this weather finishing with the Klingons started.
Sounds like a plan. Open the supply hatch. Convenient to have them, you know, right here on the outside. More respect to Starfleet hulls.
I'm reading some cave systems up on that mountainside. It might be a good place to set up camp. Maybe even a distress beacon. I can use the shuttle's emergency transporter to send Captain Lorca and another person there. Get them out of this wind and cold. It's only good for one transport, though.
Well, let's do that.
Hey, while I'm thinking about it, we lost some pieces of the shuttle while we were coming down. Some of that might be useful here. We should keep an eye out for anything we can easily salvage.
Okay, we can do that too. And you'll see that we are all now wearing those handy jackets that are going to be part of the rewards we get from this mission. They're actually not a bad design, really. Although they look very similar to Well, the Jupiter design that will be the Starfleet standard. Well, maybe not the Jupiter. Well, maybe the Jupiter. Not the Odyssey, but they do have kind of a Jupiter kind of look to them around the shoulders, the way the jacket's put together. Okay. Lieutenant, Captain, you get to go ahead. The beasties. Yes, we do have potential beasties ahead, don't
Takes
we?
guts to beam into a cave with an emergency transporter mostly held together with wishful thinking. Now, we just need to get there ourselves. Fashion way, on Shank's mare, through a frozen wasteland. You take me to all the best places, Ellen.
Alright, so let's get moving. The last thing we need is have the Klingons showing up now. And keep an eye out for useful salvage. This, apparently not useful.
Should we worry about leaving tracks that the Klingons can follow?
See those ice formations? Temperatures get high enough to thaw, then refreeze.
There are worse things than having an expert
the snow
here.
will probably melt enough to lose our tracks in the next few hours.
Right, and if it stays cold and humid, we'll get more snow anyway.
I have
Good
mixed
news.
opinions.
Now we just have to worry about finding our way out of here.
Well, when you're in a cold environment, swapping to a flamethrower feels like the way to go, right? I kind of like the environment here a little bit better than the way they have in Doria. Rocky, snow-covered. And Doria always gave me the impression more of just snow and ice. Really wish they would do a little bit more with Andoria and Vulcan. I mean, Vulcan at least gets a little bit with the whole Pajem thing early on in the Starfleet campaign. But Andoria, I feel, needs more love. And no, I don't count the Omega particle missions as being a part of that.
Powder. Some of those were built. Watch your step. There might be life forms in those. They might not like unwanted guests.
Kerwin to team. My tricorder says there's a piece of the shuttle manifold near your position. Grab it if you can, okay? We could really use it.
You can do that. Whoops! Whoa! You look unfriendly. There's those beasties, alright. But the good news is they are flammable. Of course, No, I think, is using a cryo beam, and, whoops, there's another one. Cook them well enough, and we'll be able to have them for dinner. Man, they just don't stop coming, do they? Oh, looks like I'm out of fuel. Looks like I'll have to go back to beam weapons. Yeah, No is currently using the Corefield Mining Plasma Cutter. Okay, that's not the cryo beam. I think someone else has the cryo weapon. Shayla has the cryo weapon. Nothing wrong. Love that line in this mission.
We got your widget, Kerwin. Never mind the beasties.
Sorry about that. I wonder if they were staying close to it for warmth.
We
Good
can
work.
hope.
Keep it coming. We're gonna need a lot more tricks to survive.
I think we can holster the plasma flamethrower for a little bit and continue following the trail. I also kind of like they're not exactly completely hand-holding through all of this. Oh, I take it back. They are going to put invisible walls in the way after all. Grr. So, I seem to have made what is commonly referred to as a wrong turn somewhere. Oh, here we go. I'm not a fan of invisible walls.
I was wondering if we'd see any. Here they are. Look, geothermal activity pushes heated water up, forms those bubbling mud pools. Wouldn't recommend taking a dip though. This stuff is scalding.
Kerwin here. I'm picking up another piece of debris near you. Looks like some live circuitry survived thanks to a Duralloy shell.
You know,
grab it for me?
I'm beginning to think that Kerwin might be an ancestor of Kerwin. Captain Kerwin. Kerwin here. Kerwin here. You can see the relationship. Yeah, the paths are not well marked here. That is absolutely right. I was getting ready to compliment them on that because it's like, hey, freedom to go all over the map. But then I hit that invisible wall, and that just kind of took me right back out of it. So, grrr. Now this is kind of an interesting situation here because these mud puddle things, see, it gives you this warning of expansion, and then whoosh. Stepping into that is not recommended. Okay, where did that part go? Kind of lost track of it when I was ah! It's Ayala worms. Okay, technically they're fumarole worms, but you know, they act like, if it walks like a hala, it talks like a hala. And it looks like we've got a scannable there. And ordinary, I would love to scan that, but I want to get out of the way so that when horrible scalding thing pops up, come on, bubble away, bubble away. Not only am I scanning this because I cannot help but scan all the shinies I can, but it also will hopefully allow me to stay out of the way here. It'll also allow me to use my scanner to find the subtle parts if I don't find them right away. I'm also getting some dilithium here. I wasn't paying that close attention. Was there a dilithium event going on? Ah! It's another one! Cook it! Cook it! Scan fast. Oh, out, out, out. Alright, now that I've done that, let's see if my tricorder will give me... Okay, it says it's over here. Oh, nope, it's not over here. It's just another thing to scan. Well, I can do that. Oh, what's this? Catalyst plus 10 skill rating. Something for equipment upgrades. I did not expect that. Ah, here it is, the shuttle part. Whoa! It is another one of those worms. Oh, there's another one. Alright, you got it. Now let's see if we can... Whoops. They just keep popping up, don't they? Nasty worm things. And I think this will be our way out of here. And it looks like we have...
You see that? Over by the rocks?
Why, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think it's another piece of the shuttle.
You know what that means? It means something will be jumping out at us any time now. Nobody? Really? I am shocked.
What are these marks in the ice? Tracks of some kind?
Uh-oh.
It's big, whatever it is. Let's not wait to find out more.
I approve of that strategy wholeheartedly. Let's not antagonize big, nasty creatures if we can avoid it. And And here we are. The cave.
Never thought I'd be happy to see a cave, but here we are. I can almost feel my toes again. This was a good choice. Defensible position, adequate shelter, picking up some water inside as well. Might be able to cobble up
Water,
some
you say?
fortifications by carving out some rock.
Yeah, so where's Lorca?
Looks like they're a little deeper in the cave. If I know Kerwin, he's probably hard at work cobbling a warp core together out of rocks, a hypospray casing, and a belt buckle.
Great, if you could do that, please go back to the shuttle and put it in. And here we are. Boy, it kind of looks cozy in here, doesn't it? I mean, relatively speaking. Captain, how's your concussion?
Captain Lorca's life signs are stable for now. His medical unit is functioning normally, and he didn't suffer any further wounds during the crash.
And hey, he's still breathing.
Some good news for a change. Nice work, everyone. Let's set up camp. Kerwin, see if there's a way to send a coded distress beacon. To Pev, we need to know if there's anything we can use to survive around here.
Yeah, I'll cook a rock.
Nice. That'll be warm and cozy for a while.
And bam! Sleeping bags and everything. Day 2. Yeah, it's a bad sign when they start measuring the days we've been here.
Listen, I have to count on you. Landry's competent, but this might be too much for one person to manage.
Hey, there's no I in team. On the other hand, if you rearrange the letters, it does spell wheat, so let's hope that's not prophetic.
Yeah, we are. And we have to be prepared to fight. You and I both know it's only a matter of time before the Klingons find us. I need to know you'll be ready to make the hard call if it comes down to it.
Which would be?
You're dealing with Klingons. There's no room for weakness. The Vulcans know this. When you face Klingons, act from a position of strength whenever possible. When they come, you need to be ready to hit them hard. Give no quarter.
That won't be a problem. I'll just imagine them as Hakim. That'll put me in the right mood.
You have, but not like this. You might find yourself in a situation real soon where doing things by the book won't get the job done. And people depending on you will die, understand? Trust your instincts when it comes to that, not the regulations. Be prepared to make the hard call.
Don't worry.
Check
We
in
got
on the rest
this.
of the team. They need to stay motivated.
Oh, I don't think the Pev will require too much motivation. This is like a vacation spot for him.
I'm mixing up some nutrient broth from our supplies. Not the best smelling stuff, but it will keep us alive. Gonna need a lot of calories in this weather, so we should try to find more food if we can.
Well, you know, I've got cooking supplies here. I got this nice flamethrower. Is there anything edible?
Well, we've already seen some wildlife. We're likely to find some edible fungi or mosses in the caves. Maybe some root vegetation. I don't know if I'd want to nibble on anything more complex. Contents could be dangerous to us.
You sound like a good survivalist. What exactly is your role here?
I'm an assault team specialist, close combat, automatic weapons, squad support. If it involves mixing it up in a fight, that's in my area of expertise. Two-time Ushan champion back in my hometown. It's got me through a few scrapes with Klingons. They thought their batlets were the last word in close combat. They thought wrong.
Humble sort.
Damn right. Combat isn't Starfleet's top priority. Sometimes we have to fight to protect what we value. Klingons are finding out what Vulcans have known for a long time. Andorians know how to fight. We fight to win.
Andorians really never got enough screen time in Star Trek, I always thought. We got bits of it from Enterprise with Shran, who was quite simply awesome in most of his appearances. I mean, he was a jerk, especially in his early appearances. But it was kind of hard not to root for him as time went on.
Yeah, I have a family back on Andoria. 2 wives and a husband. We're all all eagerly awaiting a young one any day now. All knew that signing on to Starfleet would make career demands on my time, of course. But I'll be glad when this is over and I have a chance to see them again.
Yeah, I think shore leave is the next step.
There was an Earthrider who wrote that young men always feel the need to get married, or get in uniform, or both at the same time. I wound up doing the latter. I just don't like leaving opportunities on the table. The chance to have a family and the chance to serve are both too important for me to let them pass by.
Probably he was born too early. He would have done well in the Next Generation era. Okay, let's have a chat with Kerwin.
Ah, good morning. I'm still working on this transmitter. It's pretty banged up, I'm afraid. If only we had some more spare parts. I'll make it. And to think, I was considering becoming a holo-novelist before I joined Starfleet. Good thing I picked up a few skills with transmitters and recorders.
Anything I can do?
Well, if you're serious about going out in that cold again, keep your eyes peeled for metal ores and deposits. Anything with magnesium, sulfur, or other reactive ores. Stuff like that. Stuff we can burn. Speaking of ores, we could also use magnetic or radioactive ores. Those I can use for primitive power cells.
And what do you do with Landry's team?
I'm a technical security specialist. Computer security, encryption, force field, surveillance devices, explosives, the works. It's engineering, but, you know, without the engines. A little joke there.
No, I get that. What's your story?
I've actually known Landry since before we joined Starfleet. It was always something she really wanted to do. The chance to get out there, to live a bigger life. As for me, I was a video novelist for several years before she convinced me to join. I'm glad she did. On most days, anyway. Oh, and don't listen to Patel. I didn't join because I lost a bet with Landry. Honest.
Oh, keep up the good work. And speaking of Patel...
It's not luxury accommodations on Ryza, but at least the cave's secure. We need some more food. If something indigenous proves to be edible. Our emergency rations will get us through a few days, but that's all.
And you're holding up?
I'm here. Watching the Baran go. That was a hard hit for all of us. Lost a lot of friends up there. Right now, I think we need to get warmer. This cold's taking a toll, even in the cave out of the wind. Maybe Kerwin could figure a way to insulate the walls a little.
That's a lot of wall. What's your role in the team?
As chief of security, I do a lot of team management, strategy, and planning. My specialties are in operational readiness and field leadership. Basically, it's my job to keep every one of my people in top form, and to deploy them where their skills will do the most good.
It's probably none of my business, but what's the story between you and Landry?
Ellen and I have served together for some time. If you mean personally, well, let's just say that the captain is aware, and he's given us the usual speech about how personal relationships can interfere with work, and so far, he's trusted us to be professional, which we've been.
If he's good with it, I'm good with it.
That's right. He's a pragmatist, and so is Ellen. She's really good at getting things done. She's not afraid to take a hard look at a tough situation and getting down to business. She tells me I have my head in the clouds sometimes. But I think she likes it, honestly.
I'll try to get something to eat, and speaking of something to eat, one more person to talk to.
Doing the rounds, eh? Making sure your team's ready for what's ahead? Good call. I'd do the same. What's ahead? Yeah. Not a lot of good news there. Stranded on a frozen rock, no rescue in sight, and the sky belongs to the Klingons right now. Klingons! Beginning to wish I'd never laid eyes on them.
It's an occupational hazard.
Good point. The captain's still alive, and Amna, Commander Patel, still with me, still with us. Starfleet trains us to deal with adversity. We'll figure something out. For now, let's see if we can scrape what we need to survive from this rock while we're here.
Then let's do so. Let's go to the mud pits, see if we can find something useful.
Losing the Baran was hard. Now, I don't have much left. But I am ready to fight for it. For them.
Well,
My
we'll
people
get
from
off
Baran,
this
they're my
rock.
family.
You'll get your chance.
Starfleet, they give us tools and training, sure. But the most important thing that they give us is each other.
So once we get back down here, and look, we have all these scannable areas, and all those rocks we saw in the middle, looks like they're going to be coming in useful. Oh, and we've got the worms here. Better use something with range. And try to avoid hot mud, which would do horrible things to, well, everything. Okay, get out of here. And is there another one over this way? Yes, I think there is. Well, let's let that finish exploding. Cool down. Whoops. Okay, a little too close.
That should be enough. Let's go.
Excellent. So we'll just let that one explode and cool down again. Back on our way. Return to the cave. Yes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Big monster! Very
What?
big!
What? What? Where? Who? What? Oh, there!
I'm pretty sure I know what made those marks in the ice now.
I've seen worse on Dewa. Actually, I've seen worse at the Colosseum. Or Nimbus. Or choose your horrible location of the week.
We better hope none of those come to visit the cave.
What I want to know is are they edible? I guess not, since we're not collecting the harvestable meat or whatever the heck makes them up. Probably have to go the long way here. I'm sure there's probably an invisible wall that would allow me to not take the shortcut.
I'm home.
Ouch.
Oh, good. Wait till you see what I've done with the cave.
Kerwin, I have some toys for you.
Magnesite? Ah, Indium. We can use that. I'll take those off your hands. Indium can give us some power. Just don't loiter around it. It's radioactive. I can probably
that would be
use
a problem.
Magnesite to make some explosive charges. You know, just in case.
Explosives? In a cave like this. That's not one of your best ideas, Kerwin. Even if we don't collapse it on our heads, we'd probably trap ourselves. We'd be stuck, unless we could burn a new way out with our phasers.
Details, details.
Sealing off the cave entrance and finding another way out is superior to being devoured by those ice creatures you mentioned. Put the explosive near the tunnel entrance. See if you can rig up a remote detonator. Better to have the option and not need it than to need it and not have it.
That should be Starfleet's motto right there.
I should have just enough parts to make a short-range radio detonator for the explosives. I can work on that while someone else sets up these canisters. With the magnesium as an accelerant, and some of the gelled thruster fuel from the shuttle, they'll go up once a charge is applied to them.
I can install them. I'm an engineer myself. I know all about high explosives.
Glad to see you made it back in one piece. Judging by the looks on your faces, you didn't come back empty-handed. That's good news. Come and have a seat, Ellen. Got a reasonably smooth rock, nice and heated up for you.
We did get a few helpful toys.
Too. Thanks, Emily. You're always looking out for me. Okay, let's talk next steps. Kerwin, we're gonna need that transmitter real soon. We've bought a little time, but not much. This cold's not going anywhere, and neither are the Klingons.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about that detail.
You're not wrong, but consider. We survived the Klingon ambush, and a crash landing, and those things that tried to eat us, whatever the hell they were, captain's still with us, and we have each other. Remember, we're Starfleet. We can't give in to despair. When times are worst, that's when we need to rise to our best.
Ah, human optimism.
Agreed. Let's not lose sight of what matters the most here. Okay, everyone, get some rest. I know I'm here. Please tell me we have some more of that moss around. I need to pad out my thermal bag. It's keeping me warm, but this cave floor is doing a number on my back.
Yeah, I can speak from personal experience that sleeping on rocky materials can be very rough without a pad. And we camp. Day 3. So what is our task for the morning?
I think we're in business here. The distress beacon's operational. It actually works. I mean, it's ugly and full of hacks, but we can send out a distress signal with the beacon now.
Excellent. Of course, there's good and bad sides to that.
Hold on. If we use the beacon, won't the Klingons receive the signal too?
Ding ding.
If they're still trying to find us, they'll know exactly where we are once we turn that on. This cozy little cave will be crawling with Klingons sooner than any of us would like once that happens.
Can we encrypt it?
None, unfortunately. We turn it on, and it'll be out there for all to see, friend and foe alike. We're hoping that Federation ships at Pryor's World will hear it and respond before the Klingons do. It's a risk, but one we need to think about taking soon.
And we may have to do some preparation work.
Agreed. They know we crashed. And unless they gave up the chase, they're still out there. And they will come running the moment they detect this beacon. Count on it. So, we need to be ready to deal with them. And buy ourselves enough time for Starfleet to get here and extract us from this godforsaken ice ball.
Well, we've got a defensible cave, but it does have that disadvantage of having only one way in or out.
To a point. They'll eventually bottle us in and use grenades or chemicals. We have to make it too costly for them to hunt us down. Catch them before they catch us. Ambush them.
Well, we got the advantage of knowing the area.
Here's the plan. They'll beam down at the shuttle wreckage and start searching from there. Their teams will eventually track our route, so we hit them on the way. We'll ambush them at the snowdrifts, then fall back, fighting our way towards the cave. Make them pay for every meter. We don't have to stop them. Just slow them down long enough for Starfleet to reach us.
I agree. It's payback time.
Let's take position by the fumaroles and make the Klingons come to us.
Remember, the Klingons can be beaten.
Heh, don't need to convince me of that.
Seize every opportunity. Give no quarter. Fight hard and fight to win.
I think the Klingons have landed.
They're hunting us.
Looks like we have the first wave here already. I was hoping to be in a somewhat better position here first, but you know. That's a lot of jackals. Should probably take care of the guy running the jackals too first. There we go. Well, fortunately, we do have. Well, what we have are invisible walls again. Grrr. Hate invisible walls. But I do like the setup that this major battle is going to have here. Taking the high ground. It actually helps.
Get behind cover. They'll be here any second. Everyone in position.
Ready.
Affirmative.
I see them.
Wait for my signal.
Let's
give him hell.
There's an awful lot of them. Oh, as Obi-Wan Kenobi would tell you, we have the high ground. Oh, unfortunately, I don't have the high ground anymore. I've got a new title choice, punching bag. Okay, well, you know, if I have to fight down here, I might as well do my best to make their lives as miserable as I possibly can. I'm not down here with you. You're down here with me. On second thought, it is getting a little dicey over here, so hit myself with the medical hyper spray and see about hitting them again from afar. And if I can work my way back to that high ground we were talking about earlier. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I can drop the... Oops! That figures. I'm getting ready to use my orbital strike, and what do I get? Oh, that can't be good. Oh, that ain't good either. It's old car again.
That was close. You all right?
Get down!
Oh, there goes Kerwin. Well, Titan did tell us that this was the battle on the losing side. This is where things start getting ugly.
Kerwin's down!
Why, yes. Yes, he is. Fall back towards the cave.
Head toward the cave before they flank us.
Try to get my directions nailed down. Mainly so I can try to avoid those invisible walls.
Stay on the hillside by the rocks.
How'd they get down here first? Oh, silly question. They have transporters. Transporters are great as long as you're the one who has access to them.
We won't last long out here, even in cover. The cave's gonna be our best option soon. The rest of you should be ready to fall back to the cave. When that happens, I'll dig in here and cover your retreat.
No. That is not the way this is gonna go, MC.
It's a sound tactic. If something goes wrong, you're gonna want someone watching your back. Keep the Bev in reserve in case you need to withdraw. Think like a Klingon. Consider every weapon at your disposal.
I'll make sure you have the time you need. Keep the captain safe. Tell my family what happened here. Tell them I fought for them. And for the Federation.
I don't agree, but you know, Lorca's in charge, even though I think he has the brains of cabbage. Really hurts not to go into spoilerish stuff here, but heh.
Which one of you wants to die first?
On the other hand, you gotta say this. He's gonna go down like a beast.
I give you a warrior's death, Andorian. It is better than theirs.
And that's 2 down. And the body count rises. Guess what, Lorca? It's time to go. I don't know where to go, but...
I assume that the Klingons are on their way. Give me a phaser. I'll be damned if I go down without a fight.
Here you go. Use it in, well, I can't say good health. I think we're close enough now that I can start using the flamethrowers on them again.
Car of House Mokai, I am gonna kill you.
It seems I've been cornered.
Oops. I noticed my health going down a little too late there.
But your captain is, how do you say it? A high-value target. He will not enjoy his time as a prisoner of the Empire.
Really, I'm not enjoying my time being anywhere near you, but you know, we make allowances. Okay, let's get the buff box rolling. Slap down the medical generator. That wasn't a medical generator. Oops. And Noah's down. No! And the medical generator is history already. Man, we barely got any use out of that. Time to swap back to long range. Mainly because I need to find out where Noah went down. Oops. Big cutscene coming.
You smell blood. They won't stop now.
I think it's time we use those explosives, Chief.
Do it! Seal off the entrance!
We may have a problem.
I know that look. What's wrong?
Kerwin had it.
What?
Kerwin had the remote detonator.
Make another one then.
In hindsight, we probably should have left that with Lorca.
Give me options, Commander.
Yeah, running a little short on those, Captain.
Can we shoot it to set it off?
No way. Just fry the whole package.
Something with a tricorder.
Maybe? I don't know.
What the hell?
What are you doing? Come back. This is the only way. Has to be done manually. Wait! No! No, you can't!
Gotta admit, the Romulan background music is very appropriate for this.
Always.
Commander! We need to get moving.
No, I'm not leaving without her.
She's gone, Commander. On your feet, soldier. Do not let her sacrifice be in vain.
Oh, we do have one tiny problem, Captain. Sir, that back wall is mostly ice, frozen over from the course of many seasons of runoff. We should be able to melt through it with a phaser. A medium setting will generate a lot of vapor, but give a clean pour. And it's so nice to see that my bridge officers are actually giving me the ideas as opposed to hearing it from, say, Lorca or Landry or anything like that for a change. I'm not bitter. Alright, let's see what we can do. Personally, I think my flamethrower would go faster, but, you know, there might be a little bit too much blowback using that. Okay, move along, and hope that the Klingons aren't on the other side. I mean, they do have transporter beams. You know, our situation has not improved.
Damn. It'll take a while for the Klingons to make it through the rockfall. Let's make sure we're ready when they do.
Yeah, we might have a problem.
Dead end. Give me options, people.
Photon grenades. Breaking through.
Klingons don't give up the chase easily.
I guess it's only to hope where that'll cave in on them.
I'll take as many of them with me as I can.
Lorca here?
Captain Lorca, thought we'd lost you.
Not from lack of trying. My people and I need immediate extraction.
Ask and ye shall receive, Captain. Ready to leave
I was kind of hoping for transporters, but I'll take a shuttle.
Personal log, Commander Ellen Landry. She's been gone for months, and every day I'm reminded of her. I even have her job now. Chief of Security. I took it to honor her. To continue her work. To keep people safe. The captain's recovered from his injuries, mostly. His eyes don't handle the light very well. But like me, he forges on. This war, the Klingons, they've taken so much from us both. From me, for the captain, only duty remains.
Long-range sensors are picking up Klingon raiders in this sector. Ready for a little payback?
Always.
Not a bad set of missions story-wise. Fairly well contained. I have no complaints.
You performed admirably under extreme conditions. As other officers participate, I hope they will follow your example. You've certainly given the analysts much to consider. Ju'ula's willingness to sacrifice large numbers of her forces to get what she wants is troublesome. That, combined with the fanaticism of her forces, is going to be a problem, and sooner than any of us would like. A great number of those forces came with her to this time period, after all.
And that's where we get our first indication that, yes, time travel is involved.
Cautionary tale in Starfleet. I prefer to remember her as someone who remained faithful to her captain and crew until the end. Exemplary qualities for an officer in any service.
Right there with you, Titan. So let's pick up our trifecta of rewards, plus our brand spanking new Batleth. And while we're here, let's go ahead and open up those Endeavor rewards that popped in during those experiences. Let's open up the uncommon one first. I can get dilithium, energy credits, choice of marks, R&D materials, or specialization points. Go ahead. Guess what's most likely to happen here? I'm going to say energy credits. Oh, it's energy credits. Who would have thunk it? Now, the rare one, on the other hand, the very rare, will get you 5 entries, which doesn't mean I get all the entries here. It means that I get 5 picks randomly from those 5 possibilities. So, I could easily get energy credits for all 5. Let's hope that's not the case. Well, we did pretty decently, actually. I mean, I'm not impressed with the R&D materials, but 300,000 energy credits, not bad, and can't say no to dilithium ore. And I'm going to go ahead and refine that now, since, you know, might as well do it while I'm thinking about it. And I believe that is going to do it for this evening. We are past the 10 o'clock hour. Oh, hold on, one more thing. I seem to be getting blinky things happening on Endeavors. I've got another perk point when I wasn't paying attention. So let's go ahead and spend that perk point now. It may come in handy. I may choose damage resist for the ground. This will give me disruptor, polaron, physical, radiation, and fire damage resistance. I can grab sprint speed, and you know, I'm kind of a fan of that one because movement is good. Or another damage resist, alpha, which is plasma, phaser, proton, psionic, and cold damage. And you know, the psionic resistance is a tempting one, but I'm all for speed. So we're going to grab that extra percentage point in ground speed. So it's tied with my impulse speed for space and my ranged weapon damage on the ground as far as the number of points spent. And that will do it for this evening. We will continue the Age of Discovery next Wednesday, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I will also be streaming Star Citizen on Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Did I say Saturday? Sunday afternoon. I hope I didn't say Saturday, but I meant Sunday. When in doubt, see the schedule on Twitch. It's more accurate than my voices, apparently. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, whether you are watching it live or later on video on demand. Always appreciate you stopping by. Happy to chat with anybody. I hope I'll see you all again. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.